During a recent new model release for the special edition Yamaha Sport ATVs, we posed this question to the independent media test drivers. Of all sport ATVs on the market, which is best if you're headed to a dune environment with riders of varying skill sets? Without question, the overwhelming consensus was the YFZ 450 and the Yamaha Raptor 700. From there, however, it became difficult to choose between the two. So we thought it would be a good idea to give a comparison. While these ATVs are designed for two different styles of riding, their applications for the dunes turned out to be quite similar.
Well, the YFZ is definitely the guy after that's the ultimate lightweight, the ultimate power to weight ratio. It's lower, it's stiffer, it feels more aggressive when you ride it. The power character hits harder. Everything's just more hardwired to the rider. You're definitely looking for that feel. And of course, with all the adjustability in the suspension, you can soften it up, but you're never going to make it as plush and as comfortable as the Raptor 700. And the other way also. The Raptor 700 is definitely a power sport type thing. We kind of look at it as the versatility king, if you will. You can use it everywhere, and it works really well in woods trails, dunes, open desert, pretty much anywhere you can ride in the United States.
You can sing the praises of these two vehicles all day long, but you come out here, you mentioned we're out here with the media, and they love them both. They actually shoot them out against each other in the Glamis to figure out which one's better, and they kind of tell you what I just told you is it depends on how you want to ride and where you want to ride in the dunes themselves. So you'll get some guys kind of split down the middle. They want to go for the Raptor, they want to go for the YFZ, and then they sometimes can't even make up their mind. They love them both.
I like the 4-strokes. YFZ is my duner of choice.
I would say the Raptor 700 is the best dune quad, bar none. I don't think there's a better dune vehicle, production vehicle to ride in the sand than that machine.
If it's your first time out, you know, you probably might step to the Raptor first, just because it is more forgiving in its power delivery. It is a little bit more low end, a little bit more torque, so if you're getting into some bigger dunes, you can kind of get yourself up it without having to shift as much as you would on the YFZ. Not to diminish the YFC's capabilities, sometimes a lot of shifting and depending on the terrain is what you need. You know, you might go to that. But again, yeah, you're right. If you're a newer person to the dunes, you might choose the Raptor initially because it's an easier learning curve as far as getting out here and figuring out some of the terrain.
Okay, so basically it's boiling down to a skill and preference issue. But in this, you might be asking yourself, how can the 450 be competitive with the powerful Raptor 700?
This engine revs quite a bit higher. You know, it's got titanium valves, so it revs that much quicker. You know, it's got the Kian FCR carburetor. You know, that's a true racing carburetor. We were the first to do that. This machine really did set a benchmark. You know, it brings a lot of our YZ 450 technology to ATVs, which was a huge deal in 2004. And yeah, like you said, to most people if they're not an enthusiast, they might not understand how a 450 can be competitive with a 700. But one of the key things to that is RPM. You know, we have to rev it higher, and we have to rev it harder. And you have to be a little more busy with your riding, but it can be a lot of fun. When you're in that aggressive mode, there's nothing like a 450, you know, at on the pipe type riding. It's just so much fun and it's so aggressive.
No matter your choice, one thing is common, and it's the suspension that comes stock on these models. While one is a bit more plush than the other, both offer a smooth and comfortable ride.
They have these things dialed in suspension-wise for riding out here. The preload, the sag, the shock action is perfect for riding dunes and sand. It's between the front shocks on that thing now, which have both high and low speed compression adjustments. It really, you don't have to change a thing. This isn't a thing where you have to drop, you know, $2 grand in and put some shocks on to come ride in the sand. These things are just dialed in from the get-go from the factory.
The most important thing that we determined from this discussion was that when choosing an ATV for a dune application, or any application for that matter, is that you be totally honest with yourself when it comes to your riding ability.
I think that's very important, and especially with the Raptor 700, I feel like that's definitely helped people be more honest with themselves. You know, you're not losing anything power-wise by getting the 700 over the 450, even though this is more of our racer. The 700's got plenty of power, but it's got more torque. And if they're honest with themselves, now with the handling, we've learned a lot of lessons from the 660 to the 700 that we brought from the 450. And it handles a lot more like the 450, but still, you know, the suspension setting is much more comfortable, much more plush, less rebound, less compression damping. So it's important for them to be honest with themselves, but I think the Raptor 700 has made that job much easier. They're not really giving up a whole lot, picking something that's more plush and comfortable.